All right, well, welcome back to Friday Night Preview with Coach Jordan. It's week 3 already. It's September. We're going to be putting up Christmas trees before long. The season is moving by incredibly fast. And Coach, tell us a little bit about last week's game, and then let's turn our attention to this week, where we're playing the Mobile Christian, the Leopards here, Friday night at 7 o'clock at the Swamp. So we hope everybody will come out for that. This week it will be a regional game, and so we're looking forward to that as well. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, last week when we talked about Cottage Hill, we talked about how they had 16 returning starters, and their middle linebacker number 1 was a Georgia Bulldog commit, and number 6, their defensive end, was a South Alabama commit. The quarterback had an offer from Baylor, so you're looking at a team that had a lot of experience, and they showed it on Friday night. And the offensively, their offense showed it. First play of the game, they ran a reverse for a long touchdown, and we talked about last week about how young of a football team we are, and like you look at offensively, our quarterback got his first start and first extensive varsity experience Friday night, as in last year, the 24 season, there was not a recorded pass attempt by Andrew Sullivan. Okay, our X and our Y had no recorded stats in a varsity game last year. Our Z maybe had 2 catches. Our running backs, Jesse Bird had played some defense, but had never played running back before. And of course, our running backs that played behind him, Jacob Thomas and some of the other guys that were behind him, Colton Miller, that was their first varsity carries. We had 3 of our offensive linemen that had varsity experience, and so offensively it was a brand new offense from what we had in 2024. And then on the flip side, defensively, you had Micah Sullivan that is going into his 3rd year as a full-time starter, and a couple other guys, Evan Bell, who's a sophomore who is going into his 2nd year as a starter, but a lot of youth and inexperience. And when you have a team with youth and inexperience, there are going to be fumbles, there are going to be turnovers at inopportune times, and that's really what really bit us on Friday night was, they score, real quick on offense, and we get the ball back, end up punting it. They get a pretty good punt return, score again, and then our first play back, we get hit, a close call. The call to as far as was he down or not was close, and that's life. And of course, they scoop and score you down 21-0. But before you know it, a highlight of the game was the play of Evan Bell, our sophomore corner, had 2 interceptions, had 7 tackles. He was nominated for Optimist Club Player of the Week. And it went to another kid, but he was worthy of the recognition. And so we put him up for that award, and he put our offense in position to score twice, and we just couldn't capitalize on that. And of course Andrew Sullivan threw a long pass to Parker Sells for about 60 yards. It got us down to about the 10-yard line, and ran the ball a couple of times, and then right as the perfect time to call a play action pass, number 1, the middle linebacker, for Cottage Hill, made a great play and proved why the Georgia Bulldogs have offered him a scholarship. And he made a leaping, it looked like his arm stretched 3 feet, to make a leaping catch there in the end zone. And he returned it, and it looked like he was going to go for a touchdown, except for Jacob Thomas chased him down from behind. And so literally we had one of our players chased down from behind a Georgia Bulldog commit and made a tackle. And so, really it was a game of inexperience on our end and a game of turnovers. And so, the good news is this, is like every team their first time out doesn't look the same as they will their second time out. Watching film and even having watched Cottage Hill, in their first game against Washington County, they played so much better against us than they did against Washington County. And a couple of reasons for that, of course, it's speculation by me, but hey, we've beaten them 2 years in a row. Those 16 returning starters, they wanted a piece of us, and they got some Friday night. But also, you get better from your first game to your second game, and that's what we're really counting on, this week upcoming against Mobile Christian, who'll be bringing a very good football team into Satsuma. And to talk about them, they played a Presbyterian Christian out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi this past Friday night. And in talking to Presbyterians, Coach, the biggest thing he said is the Mobile Christian running back is special. And he rushed for 377 yards and at least 3 touchdowns. I may be wrong on the touchdown, either 3 or 5 touchdowns. I know it's 377 yards, and it had a statewide, stat game of the week all over the state against Presbyterian. And so, like, going into the game, he's their best player, and it's not that he's big. He's a smaller guy, but he's very quick. And so what we've talked to our defense about this week as far as keys to the game is, number one, getting lined up. So we spent a lot of time in what we call formation recognition, and what that means is that we have an offense just line up in the formation. Don't even worry about running the play, and we get 2 huddles and we just line them up as fast as we can. So, first off, one offensive line up fast, and as soon as we snap, the second offensive lining up fast, and we just do that as quick as we can. And we put the pressure on our defense to line up to the formations and get their calls and get set as quick as we can, because our defense feeding up in their gaps that they're responsible for is going to be huge this week. And anytime you play a running back that is quick and shifty, ability to swarm tackle. So it's not, you don't want to be one-on-one with a guy like that, because odds are he's going to win the one-on-one. And so our ability to line up, which will help us gang tackle, will be a big a big game plan, thing we need to do very well this Friday defensively. And then offensively, talking about Mobile Christian's defense, they have really good size on the defensive line. Primarily they're a 3-man front, and the 3D linemen are back from last year, and like there's a number 75 who is a nose guard, and he's really big, really wide kid. He plays hit up, sometimes shaded on our center. And so our ability to handle his girth, how big of a person that he is going to be huge for our guys in the middle. But there's some things that Presbyterian were able to take advantage of. The score last week was 45 for Mobile Christian and 35 for Presbyterian. And so, there's some things that we see that we like as far as things we can take advantage of. And, it just comes down to, our guys, our young, inexperienced guys having a game under their belt, which always helps, and us being able to execute the game plan and holding on to the football. Like the fumbles last week and the interceptions last week really put us in a hole. And so our ability to eliminate those type things are going to be huge come Friday night. So, coming out of this past week, there's some things I'm very proud of, is that I thought overall we tackled very well, especially in space. And Cottage Hill is a very athletic team. Talking to some of Cottage Hill's region opponents that called me over the weekend, because they're on the map as far as their region. Like, their opponents are afraid of them and respect them very much because of the kind of talent they have. And so you saw an athletic team come into Satsuma, but I saw our guys tackling space. And that's something I haven't seen very much since I've been in Satsuma. So I was very proud of the way that we tackled. And so, going into this Friday against Mobile Christian, like I said, our ability to gang tackle number 2, who their running back is going to be huge, and just eliminate the turnovers. And so, I'm excited about seeing our young guys get their second game under their belt. We're in the season of, we're having our 3 games a week, meaning, you got your JV game, which is typically on a Monday night, but we played it on a Tuesday night, with this being Labor Day week. And then, our middle school will be traveling to Cottage Hill this Thursday. And so we got our 3 programs going in full swing, and excited to watch these guys play. And you think about this, the numbers of kids who are playing football at Satsuma High School, we have 95 football players, 7 through 12. 22 of them are juniors and seniors. That means there's 73 kids, 7th through 10th grade, that are playing football at Satsuma. And we're very proud of that, and we're spending a lot of time, with our youth, talking about our youth JV, youth in middle school, and making sure those guys are coached up and taken care of, and not just on the field, like off the field when it comes to our pickles, popsicles, and our Gatorade stuff and things. We're making sure that our 7th and 8th graders are getting everything that our varsity guys are getting, because our numbers are so loaded in the 10th grade and down. And so, going back into Friday as far as Mobile Christian goes, excited to see a young, hungry group of guys ready to get after it. It's like I told our guys after the game, and obviously, we were all disappointed in the result. I like what I see from this team as far as it's a hungry team. It's a team that plays hard. It doesn't lay down. and I'm excited about going to war, so to speak, with these guys.
So tell me, with this being a regional game, how important is the crowd?
It's huge as far as the excitement level, and especially with a young football team, the mood of the crowd can really affect a young football team. Like you take quarterback, for example, quarterback, pitcher, point guard, pick your sport. There's that one position that like all eyes are on. And so in a game of football, that's going to be quarterback. And quarterbacks are going to make mistakes. And so like when a quarterback makes a mistake, everybody in the stadium sees it. So if there's a bad throw, everybody saw the bad throw, but they might not have seen the left guard who missed his block that caused the defensive lineman to get into the face of the quarterback that led to the bad pass. And so, having that morale support from our crowd, which has been great, absolutely has been great, means a lot to Andrew Sullivan and it's, talking about quarterback, but means a lot to our guys. And it's like this, we were down, pretty handily at halftime, and as our kids were jogging into the, into our weight room, locker room, we heard claps and support from our crowd, and that means a lot to our guys because, our guys have put in a lot of time, and it's hot outside, and there's a lot of other things that our guys can be doing, but they chose to play the game of football because they enjoy it, and we do our best to make it an enjoyable experience for them. And so the support that we received as we were going, in at halftime, even though we were down handily, and even after the game, the support that our team felt, it means a lot to our guys because, yes, we all want to win, and it wasn't the result that we wanted, and we're all working and doing everything we can to get a better result, but it always makes you feel good to know that your friends, your family, and your community is there behind us. So it's really nice to have the support that we had Friday night, and as we always have had since I've been here.
Well, for someone who's watched football at Satsuma very closely for the last 14 years, you and your staff are doing a great job recruiting the kids from inside the school and getting them to come out and play. And I'm just impressed with that, and it's been fun to watch. And so this Friday, Mobile Christian, we'll take on Mobile Christian this Friday. So y'all come out 7:30 and support your Gators. Hey guys, my name's Brent, and I'm the pastor here at First Baptist Church of Satsuma. I just wanted to take a second and invite you to worship with us this Sunday at 10:45. We meet at 5600 Old Highway 43, and we'd love for you to come and be a part this Sunday and worship with us. If you're looking for a perfect church, we're not it. We're messy people who love Jesus, who love each other, and love this community. And we'd love for you to be a part of all the exciting things going on here. Hope to see you this Sunday. Have a great week.